it's just around the corner.
Norway 2025, and here we are all the way from Mexico. Mr. Pablo, not Escobar.
No.
But Pablo
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Sí.
Ajá. ¿Hablas español?
Sí, hablo español.
Ajá, yo también, un poquito nomás, un poquito. Dos veces, por favor. And we are sitting here, oh, you are not, but I am sitting here with a good old 1664, advertising for a good beer. And Pablo, let me ask you this question in this way, because I just interviewed one of the witnesses today that was then on the witness. It was an ex-Jehovah's Witness on the witness trail.
On the witness trail, right.
And he said during our talk, why are all these people coming from on the other side of the world? Why are they coming to Norway? What are they doing here? You might be the best to ask.
Well, not the best, but yeah, I contribute whatever the reason I came here. And because we have been harmed badly by the policies established by Jehovah's Witnesses religion. And one of those policies is the mandated shunning that harms badly by you just not wanting to continue being part of that religion. So because I have been harmed, and I did hurt other people before I left.
How did you hurt other people before you left?
Because I was among those so-called men with privileges. So as a man with privileges within the Jehovah's Witnesses religion,
as an elder?
You have to enforce, ministerial servant, but we were doing a lot of missionary work. I learned quite a few languages. But when you are on those levels of so-called service, you are obligated to enforce that mandate and make sure that everybody follows. And if you know someone doesn't, you have to call them out or turn them in. And I pressure family members to shun other family members of mine. So I did hurt people. And now that I left, now they are shunning me. So I understand both ways.
You taste your own medicine now.
That is correct.
But we were indoctrinated. I did the same thing as an elder. I was also on a judicial committee once, and I said never again. But I have to live with it for the rest of my life, what I did to others. So it's okay. What else can you do? You were indoctrinated from you were a child, or
no? I was 19 years old when I was indoctrinated. I migrated to the United States, and it was in the United States where I got indoctrinated.
You never heard about Testigos de Jehová in Mexico?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
and that's how I knew about them when I got to the United States, because they come to you with the propaganda of something better is ahead. But it's just a propaganda.
Yeah.
And they entrap you, especially when you are in the most vulnerable spot in your life.
Because you just came to the United States and they came there with a sweetness and lovingness and love bombed you.
That's correct.
So it might as well have been Mormons coming into your life and you were a Mormon today. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you are being love bombed by nice people, it doesn't matter what they believe.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting, Pablo.
Yeah. So when I, been away for almost 6 years from the Jehovah's Witnesses religion, then I get to know people who are activists. So me, myself, with my wife, became activists as well. So through the activism channels that exist in the media, we got to hear what's going on, not just in Norway, but Spain, the Australia Commission, in Canada, in England. So when we heard about what is happening here in Norway, we were like, well, we need to go and support those who are also being inflicted, but especially be a backing of those and for those who are going to testify. So that's the reason I am here.
RESPECT, because I'm coming from the neighbor country. I mean, you're coming from the United States. That's incredible. It must be also costly.
Yes, it's not cheap. It's expensive. But it's worth it because if you think about how much money they drain out of you in this many years in so-called donations, free labor, for nothing, it doesn't benefit any human being. Only those who control and are the leaders of the Jehovah's Witnesses religion. But now the money that I am using is really helping people because all of those who have been harmed and are hurting, they need someone who can provide support and understanding.
True that. You mentioned that you have been out of Jehovah's Witnesses for 6 years now?
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years. Mm-hmm. How did you get out?
The Australian Royal Commission.
But you were not allowed to see that kind of stuff.
That's true. And the reason why is because my wife left early. She was not telling me for over a year. She was not telling me that she did not believe in this anymore.
She was a PIMO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she didn't want to tell me because she was afraid of me,
selling others.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So eventually, little by little, she was, throwing little seeds. But I was also very fed up with all this behavior of everyone taking the lead. And then I was being targeted because I was outspoken.
So you're actually outspoken and challenged the governing body teachings?
Pretty much.
Wow, you're not allowed to do that.
But not, little by little I was questioning through the so-called appointed man. So I was targeted, my wife was targeted. And because it was so much, I will use the word, in a way, hate towards my questioning attitude. It was very, very uncomfortable, unpleasant going to the meetings, being around these people. And it got to the point that I said, I can't continue going like this. And instead of feeling relaxed and happy, stressed out and upset. So I stopped going to the meetings. And when I told my wife, you know what, I'm done, I'm not going to the meetings anymore, then she says, okay, I'm not going either.
Me too. I'm a year ahead of you. Wow, that's perfect that the couple can go out together and not leaving one behind. Oh, because I see that also when I talk to former Jehovah's Witnesses, if it's the husband or the wife wants to get out, if they're beginning to preach another word that the watchtower, it can somehow psychologically push the other part back into Jehovah's Witnesses and becoming even more Jehovah's Witnesses because they see you as a threat, as a tool of Satan. So it might as well have been that result.
Yes, in a way. In
a way, but she was 1 year, but you didn't know. That's typical.
I did not know that.
So that's it. Can you mention, you said there were some challenging things. Was it the overlapping generation or 6 or 7?
No, it was actually, that was one of the things that I was brought into question. Another thing it was, if we are following Jesus' example, why are you being that way with the sheep? Well, the Bible says this, but the Watchtower says that. It doesn't make sense. Things like that.
Yeah.
So that's what it was used against me, against my wife, because we were pretty much that way, both. And they will know when we were challenging a teaching and behavior. So you just don't challenge, you just don't question anything from those people with authority.
True.
Because you become a target.
Yeah, it's true.
And one thing that I told one of them at one point was, how is it that I cannot question you nor criticize you? And yet, Jesus said, you can say whatever you want to say negative against me. Are you above Jesus? And, of course, that makes them more angry.
It's interesting you say that. I would say you are allowed to ask questions, but you are not allowed to ask questions to the answer. You know, you get this standard answer. Yeah, I know that standard answer. I read the Watchtower,
Right.
but I still, that's a sin almost. That's a disfellowship. That's funny. Also because you say, if you read the Evangelica, you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the way Jesus were is totally different from the Watchtower.
Yes.
If you read the context text, and not only the few cherry-picking verses here and there,
Right.
you can see the Christendom is a whole other matter than the way they
Yep.
present.
And another thing that I added also to the questioning was, so the governing body says you do not question Jehovah, right? But then I said to them, well, how is that possible? Because in the scriptures, many imperfect people questioned, criticized, and challenged Jehovah, the God of the Bible. And yet Jehovah listened to them and changed what he was going to do. So even the Bible gives this example that you can ask and question God if he really exists. And the governing body says that they are representatives. So you cannot question those men because they are above Jehovah. You can question Jehovah in prayer maybe, but you cannot question these men because they are above Jehovah. That was my question again to this man.
And they couldn't answer you.
There is no answer. Because I said, if indeed we are going by what the Bible says, then we are not really doing such thing. So again, it added more for them to be the way they were towards me. And the Royal Commission, what really hit me was when Jeffrey Jackson was interviewed. And when he was asked directly, is it true that you are the only channel, something like that God uses to speak to humanity, something like that? His answer was not positive.
He said it would be presumptuous to say that we are. Every Jehovah's Witnesses should see that clip, just a few seconds there.
Just that clip.
Yeah.
Just the clip. And when he said it will be presumptuous, I'm like, what?
Thank you.
Mr. Jackson, you need to be sworn.
Yes, Your Honour.
You have a Bible there?
I certainly do.
Would you take the Bible in your hand, please, and repeat after me? I swear by Almighty God
I swear by Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give in this Royal Commission
that the evidence I shall give in this Royal Commission
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Yes, thank you. Take a seat again, please.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Stewart.
Now, does the governing body, or do the members of the governing body, do you see yourselves as modern-day disciples, the modern-day equivalent of Jesus' disciples?
We certainly hope to follow Jesus and be his disciples.
And do you see yourselves as Jehovah God's spokespeople on earth?
That, I think, would seem to be quite presumptuous to say that we are the only spokesperson that God is using. The scriptures clearly show that someone can act in harmony with God's Spirit in giving comfort and help in the congregations.
All these years, you guys said we are the only.
Mouthpiece, they also say.
Yes.
That's so funny, Pablo.
No, and if any of your subscribers that are watching this can go and look for that, or if you can
I can think I can clip it in. So what we're talking about, the presumptuous part, because it's very interesting. But, you know, you have been indoctrinated by not seeing apostates and media criticizing Jehovah's Witnesses. How come that you overcame that fear and did click on the link? Were you not afraid? Were you not like, oh, this is wrong, but I still have to see it, or what?
Oh well, no, I did have that.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, because you know you are so manipulated psychologically that you do think twice, 3 times before you try to see something that is not propaganda from the watchtower.
Yeah.
Because you used to have somehow that fear that I may be doing something really wrong and God is watching me. But then, you know, I went through that. But if you try to use your own reasoning and walk away from that mentality, fear implanted in you, that is the only way you can really see the truth of the truth. So even though I was shaking, my heart was, you know, pumping every time I was looking at the Royal Commission. Little by little, as I see more and more and more, I'm like, these guys are liars. And really, all of them flat out lying to the government. So I'm like, you know, this is just a joke. I'm done. And then when I saw Jeffrey Jackson, I'm like, I'm completely out of this. Because it's just men. These are just another group of men who try to make money out of the good hearts of a lot of innocent people who are looking for something better, but they don't have it.
Do you think, between you and I,
right? And everybody else?
But do you think they are aware of it? Are they doing it on purpose? The governing body, do they know it's just a business, or do you think them themselves are indoctrinated? They are victims of their own religion, or do you think they are aware that it's all bullshit?
You can't say what other people are thinking or feeling really unless they tell you. But I will not be surprised if some of them, perhaps not all of them, if some of them consciously are aware that, you know, I'm not. This is a joke. Perhaps it's a business. It's a money making. It's control. It's authority. And someone who has a lot control over a lot of people and has a lot of benefits from that control, it's hard for them to really let that go and be honest. So perhaps someone within that group.
Will there ever be another Ray France leaving the governing body and so on? I don't think that they are too deep. They have been digging too deep a hole. Okay, back to Norway, where we are right now in Oslo. Speaking of being liars and know the truth and say something else, have you noticed during this trial also, have you heard some of the witnesses from Jehovah's Witnesses? Anders Rysdal's part, the Watchtower's witnesses, have you heard something that you said that's a direct lie that they said during this trial?
Because I don't understand Norwegian.
It's been translated?
No. Well, other people have been helping translating for us who do not speak.
Oh, so you haven't really heard? Okay.
But a couple of times, even though not speaking the language, you can see body language. And yes, a couple of times it was rather obvious that the statement was not true. And that was based on reaction from the judges and also the non-Jehovah's Witnesses, which I was sitting in the back and I was able to see everybody up front. I was able to see some of those reactions. Later on, after the sessions, I asked, and it was true. They were.
I noticed you because I was in the courtroom too, and I understand 90% of what they say because Norwegian, Danish is very, very close languages. But you were sitting there listening actually trying to find out what are they saying. But you were there, representative and supporting the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses
Yes.
community.
Yes.
And listening. But still, was it a little bit more interesting, even though you didn't understand Norwegian, than being to a convention?
It was very interesting because you were actually there seeing people defending the truth from the truth.
From the truth, yeah.
Amazing. It was better than a convention because then now you said there is substance here.
Yeah.
It's not a lie.
No.
There is a substance against the lie.
Yeah, yeah.
It was amazing. Now, one thing that I did share with all of us in ex-Jehovah's Witnesses who are supporting the people here in Norway, I shared with them is this thought from us that are no longer part of that religion. They accuse us of being bitter, but we have been nothing but happy. They accuse us of being completely negative. We have been nothing but positive. And they have noticed that. The judges have noticed that. But one thing that I did myself was going out of my way and start greeting every Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, you did that?
I did. I presented myself. I shake hands. Interestingly enough, they shake my hand back and they give me their names. I say goodbye, have a great day. They reply that back to me. The majority of them.
And they knew that you were extra. Okay.
Right away they knew.
Did you say, I'm Pablo, I'm from the United
Yes,
States?
I am Pablo, I'm from Mexico. Well, even though I live in the United States, I am from Mexico.
You are Mexican.
I'm Mexicano, yes. So honestly, I'm from Mexico, and I'm here to support the victims. But my name is Pablo. Okay. They greeted me. And what I tell my acquaintances, friends now, good friends now, actually, I should say, my very good friends, you're one of them now. This is what I said. We should not play by the rules. The mistake we made or have made is that they're shunning us, but we have nothing against them because they are also victims. And if they want to follow those rules, it's them. But I don't follow those rules. I'm a human, they're humans, we're humans. I go and greet them. Not everyone, but if I am near someone who I know is a Jehovah's Witness and we're in the same close quarters, we're humans. It's a human thing to do. So I don't follow those rules because nobody's telling me what to do.
I love that approach.
You are a good man, you're a good human, show that.
It's
not because you are religious or not, but if you're a good person, show that you're a good person.
Yeah, it's a much better testimony than writing all on the social media and so on. It's so good that you say that. Don't show them, don't be bitter, don't be hateful. Mm-hmm. I also go to them when they're standing at the carts and saying, hello, la la la. This December, it was freezing cold in Copenhagen, so I bought 2 cups of chocolates. I went to them, here you look, oh, thank you. Are you also Jehovah's Witnesses? No, but I used to be. And then they had this cup in their hand, and they didn't know what to do.
Throw it, give it back to you.
Nah, they were actually very nice.
Nice.
And I always invite them to go to the podcast, to come here and to tell their experience. Yes. And I promise them I won't be hitting you with a lot of arguments. Just tell us how you are and show my listeners the other side.
Right.
They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm an apostate and okay. But it's true what you say. Kill them with love.
Yep.
Be kind to them.
Another thing is that we have so many reasons to be upset.
Yeah.
We are sad. We have been depressed. We get depressed sometimes because we are suffering from all of that. And even though we do have so many reasons, valid reasons to be upset, we do not want to lose our dignity. We have to keep our dignity. And one way to keep our dignity is by showing kindness, even though it's hard. And the only way you can be courageous is well, it is so hard and painful, you still go ahead with kindness. That's courage and kindness. So if we can all manage to do that, eventually I think we can help more active witnesses to see that the propaganda about us, they are angry, they are bitter, they are so unhappy. We come and show, no, that's not true. Yes, we're not happy, but it's not true. Look at us now in Norway. If you see, whenever you see what is happening here in Norway, my goodness, it's like a great family that we were spread around and finally we meet again. It's amazing.
Pablo, it's almost the same feeling, going to an international convention, seeing friends from all over the world. It's like this. The feeling is the same, just
but
on
it's
the
different.
other side.
Yes, but it's different because when you go to those conventions, it's conditional love. They love you only if you worship the nine men or the men in New York, or the men. Here, no. It's unconditional. I like you, you like me, we like each other. Why? I don't know. We just like each other. Not because there is an agenda that you have to follow. So this is a very open, real friendship, unlike in religious or cults.
You don't have a glass, but I feel like I should cling and say cheers. Buddy, it's so true. That's a very wise advice you give there. Don't be harmful, don't shout, don't sit there cursing Jehovah's Witnesses, calling them stupid and brainwashed and so on.
No.
It doesn't help. And we were stupid and brainwashed. Correct. We were like that. Yeah. I wouldn't like people speaking about me like that. They're human beings. Let's be human beings. If we want to help, if someone can come out. Speaking of, have you helped someone out from your family after you left? Have there been other, to your knowledge, from your family?
So far, I am working with my two sisters who are Jehovah's Witnesses.
Should you say this? Or should we beep this out? Okay. Just that nobody should...
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And my two sisters, younger than me, of course, and... but the youngest one is a little bit more open to accept my reasoning than the older one. But the older one has softened a little bit more. So yes, I think little by little they are listening to me, and I think they are questioning. Before they did not want to hear what I had to say. They shunned me for 2 years. But I think the siblings' love was stronger, so they little by little listened and were talking to me and were talking. But yes, I was shunned for 2 years. But now we have conversations. Here and there, I do say something. Now they're not as uncomfortable as they were before. So I think I am gaining some their hearts back.
I hope you will still be in contact and tell me if it happens, because I love these stories where a whole family can come out, not only one, and a divorce and terrible things happen, but a whole family, like the ones out here. There's two persons, I won't mention their names, but they helped out 7 from their family, but going under the radar.
I met them. Yes, you're right.
Very clever.
The story.
Fading, and then he's this and there. If they wrote a letter, we want to disassociate, we are not Jehovah's Witnesses, clean cut. So they're doing it in a clever way, fade and trying to work undercover.
Yes.
We have all different ways of helping other people.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to leave. Take your time, because it's not easy. Make connections. For instance, this podcast will help you contacting him, and he can put you in contact with other friends who will understand you, support you. Because really, we support each other because we understand each other.
Yeah.
And that's a huge help. So anyone who wants to leave, they're not alone.
It's true.
There's a community.
Yeah, you are not alone. Pablo, thank you very, very much for your encouraging testimony.
Well, it was a nice opportunity to be with you, and I do appreciate the opportunity to be interviewed and allow me to share my experience, and hopefully that helps
It
some of your
will help,
audience.
and you come all the way from the other. I don't understand it. This is incredible. So, on behalf of all the XJW community in Scandinavia, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.